Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Hi friends and welcome. We're coming to you live today from Teance. We're here in Berkeley at the Social Justice Children's Book Holiday Fair. It is happening, and apologies for coming in a lot later than we had anticipated, but I hope you enjoyed the programming that we have for you in the morning, and I hope too that you're ready for what we have for you coming to you from here at Teance. So please let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, you'll be seeing very shortly scenes from what's happening out here at the Social Justice Holiday Book Fair. And lots happening, of course, kids, parents, educators, creatives, they're all here with us today. And also be talking to our hosts here today at Teance. So we'll have Chiwi coming in to share a little bit about Teance and of course other creatives as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Glad we're here together. A wonderful day out here in Berkeley, where today the rain is holding off and we are doing just well, just fine with this weather that is holding out. The rain is really being kind to us right now. Thank you so much for being here. Please let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. I hope you're ready. Among the creatives that are here today, of course, we have Santo Nagaro, we have Robert Trujillo, and also Angela Darton, and many more that are here for this wonderful event, the Social Justice Children's Book Holiday Fair. Excitement. Make your way to Berkeley. We still have an hour here together for wonderful books and good gifts for this holiday season. Thank you so much for joining in. And very shortly, we'll be bringing in some of the organizers, some of the creatives to come out here and share with us what this event is all about. Thank you so much for being here with us on Story Time. And just now, we'll be right back after this short break. Thank you for being here with us. And yes, good to see you all. Thank you. Be right back. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Zetta Elliott, and I am the author of 40 books for kids, including Dragons in a Bag and A Place Inside of Me. You're watching Storytime with Mr. Lamata.
I don't know what order you want to go in.
No, that works great. Let's have Brianna come on through. All right, so we'll be joined now by Brianna McDaniel. Come on through.
Thank you. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Books going fast.
Yeah, I didn't get enough books.
Now you know.
Now I'm like, oh no, here they go, off away.
Well, good to see you in person.
It's nice to see you in person too. And thank you for the opportunity to talk to you earlier today too.
Absolutely. No, that was great. I'm so glad you were able to jump on with us.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Is this one already gone?
This is the last copy.
Oh, I'm buying this one then.
Okay.
Yes.
No worries. this is the very last copy of it. Yeah.
Thank you. And you told us a little bit about it, and then I know
did.
John joined us, and we kind of never continued. But
Yeah,
do you
that's
want to
great.
tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so this is a book that I actually wrote for my grandmother. She didn't get to see it published, but I did write it, and it's just about a little girl named Mabel. And she thinks, because her grandmother told her, that if we can touch the moon, then nothing is impossible.
Right.
And so she thinks, well, you know what if I journey to the moon?
Yeah.
So she takes her covers and she uses them as wings, and she takes off into the sky.
Oh, that sounds so
and
beautiful.
I just want to, because Tanya Angel is the illustrator.
Yeah.
And we
Is
really...
Tanya here today?
Tanya's not here, no. But she does have a shop that's opening up online.
Oh, please, yes.
Tanya Angel, if you like this, you like all that she has to offer. But the thing is, as I was doing research for this, I was spending a lot of time in planetariums and finding that there wasn't a lot of different types of ethnic representation when it came to the constellations that they were showing at these planetariums.
Yeah.
So, like, Tanya was like, you know what? Orion should have locks of many colors. And I was like, oh my gosh.
I love it.
So when I saw this, I just was overwhelmed, like in a beautiful way, because she did a wonderful job bringing this story. And it's really a storybook. It's a picture book, definitely. But I think the story and the way it arches over is amazing.
Yeah, no, well, we hope we can have you on story time, and hopefully, we can get permissions and everything that is needed.
Absolutely.
But it'll be so great for you to come through and share that.
Yeah.
But this is my copy.
Okay.
I am buying it.
I got
and then
you.
please sign it.
Oh, of course. I will now go and put it under the table. No one will be able to find it.
Oh my goodness. No, thank you so much. No, I appreciate it. Yeah. And where can people find you?
So people can find me at Bree, B-R-E, Mac, M-A-C, Books on Instagram. That's the best way. And then BriannaJMcDaniel.com is my website and has all the information about how to contact me and all sorts of things. We'll
definitely be sharing those on all the Storytime platforms so people can get to see it. And of course, hopefully, this is the beginning of great friendships.
I have been a fan for a long time. So when I heard you were going to be here, I was like, so do we have to talk to him? How does this work out? Like, do we have to sign up? How would we do this? And this is just a beautifully run program. And so very much my pleasure.
Yeah, and also, have you participated in the social justice book fair before?
No, so I just moved to Oakland. I'm actually from Atlanta. So this is my first time here, and this is my first time having the opportunity to share in this experience.
Welcome. No, it is great. Just like you, I'm kind of new to it. This is my third one. I think the first one was virtual, and then had the one last year that was coming back. And then here we are. Thank you so much. No, I love it. Thank you. Thank you.
I will go and put this down for you.
Thank you. Thank you. That is Brianna McDaniel joining us here. Come have fun with us here at the Social Justice Children's Book Holiday Fair. And then do you know who's coming next? We do have Alejandra Dominzaid. Oh my goodness. Come on through. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's so exciting.
It is always good to see you.
Yeah, it was destiny for us to have it because it was raining cats and dogs yesterday, and we were so worried that today it's dry and beautiful.
And I saw yesterday you had a big day running around with different things.
Oh yeah, we were assembling tents and tarps, and we don't even need it. It's dry.
But yes, tell us about this event. I know that you've been working
a few months.
10,000 miles an hour back here trying to get things done. How has that been? What is this event and how does it feel?
Oh, it feels so amazing. We have, over 20 authors and illustrators.
Yeah, and we'll be getting to show you some of those people here that are here too. Just the scenery is amazing.
Yeah, I wish you could see it. And each one of them just has a unique book, and they're the kind of books that you don't often find in mainstream publishers. Sometimes they're self-published, sometimes they're, with small independent presses. But they're the gems. They're the books that you wish you had when you were a kid.
Yes.
And those are the people that write these books. They're the ones that they feel the world needs and they don't have. So it's really like the deep conviction that brought this book into the world. So it's beautiful meet them and to see the books.
Yeah. And I know that you've been, I think, one of the founding organizers of the event. So how have you seen it change over the years? We're now in year 6.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the very, very early years, but I mean, I actually started out as an attendant. I just came with my kids to check out the fun books.
Yeah.
And I think in like earlier years, it was indoors because it was pre-COVID, and so there have been performances, like music performances. It's gone virtual. The last 2 years we've been here in this beautiful space. Yeah, so it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see that it's still strong. It's still growing.
Yeah.
There's new additions every year.
No, I love it. And also too, just thinking too, I know that, you mentioned a lot of things that come to this space, what this space represents. Was that the idea that you have as you're coming in to bring in the different aspects, the different people, different everyone bringing in their different creative ways and processes and things?
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I think it's a way to bring everyone together that's like believes in social justice, right? That believes in diversity. And so it's hard to find that. There's not like really a physical place where you can find that. Even not a lot of virtual places.
No, it is so true. Yeah.
And I know you're been in education, you're a teacher. I was a teacher too, and I know how frustrating it is as a parent or as a teacher to feel like I know I want it, but where are those books?
Yeah, those books, exactly. Yeah. No, it definitely feels like that. And when I started coming to the social justice holiday fair, I saw some of the things. I was like, oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh, like last year, I can actually see him from here with the Black Panther Party. I'm blanking on his name right now, but those are coloring books, and they also have like where there's different questions that they ask the students. Like it might be, like here's a picture of this. Can you color it in your own way, or can you write about hip hop, or can you do some graffiti? And so just like all these kind of ways that it engages kids. I took and made prints for my 4th graders. And it was just so wonderful to see. I'm just like, yeah. But that's what it's been coming here and seeing all these little, like all this gold that is around here.
And you could talk to the authors and to the illustrators and say, like, why did you write this? Or, just what was your experience? How does it intersect with this book? So I think that's what's great, the human element.
Yeah. Well, I know too that, I was listening, I replayed this conversation from when you came to Story. And I couldn't help. I clipped so many things that I was just like, I'll play this clip. I will show this clip. There was so many things that you said in there. How's your work going? How is Paratodos going at this point? Since when we talked?
Oh my gosh, it's been such an exciting journey.
Yeah.
I think the best part is it has put me on this path where I've met such amazing, interesting people. And so one of the exciting things I've done is I've been able to do a lot of workshops with teachers, with librarians, with educators, not just about my book, but just about how do we get social justice in the classroom, right? In our communities. And so I've collaborated with everything from like the Cesar Chavez Foundation, the Dolores Huerta Foundation, like just people that I so look up to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you ready to show us? I'm getting signals here that we're ready to show us some of what's happening out in there. But yeah, so.
Well, thanks for doing this. Thanks for being here, for being such a supporter of social justice.
This is great. No, I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you,
this is wonderful. Always good to see you. But yeah, I'll hopefully come to you too then.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Hi, good to see you in person.
So good to see you.
Black Book Club. We follow each other.
So good to see you. Please take a seat. Oh my
It's a little chilly, isn't it?
It is. It is. I'm so thankful that
it stopped raining. Yes. And it's not supposed to start raining until like 3:30, so it's crossing my fingers.
So good to see you.
And I have some exciting news.
Yes.
We have installed so far 6 of the mini Acura Bookhouse libraries, so kids can get free books. 3 in East Oakland.
Oh my goodness.
1 in Richmond.
Yeah.
1 in West. Well, we got 2 more coming in the West.
That's awesome. And those are areas of need for sure.
Oh no. The biggest thing is we find curators who are in lower income areas who have owned their house and would be good shepherds of watching. Because kids don't have to return the books.
Right.
They can just, so we
Oh,
keep
I
giving,
love
we
that.
keep
I
giving
love
them books
that.
to the
Yeah.
nonprofit. So the
Yeah.
nonprofit is moving faster than me.
That's good. That's good though. Like, yeah, it's just the work that you're putting in.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
K-Dub did the last one, and each artist, each time one comes out, they're more and more beautiful than the one before.
Yes.
Seriously. So Robert's, he just picked up an empty one, so he's gonna
He's
do.
gonna do. Oh, I cannot wait to see those. Yeah, but how have you been? And I mean, all this amazing work, but also the books.
It's been this labor of love that we thought was going to be a small little book club.
Yeah,
And it's
right.
sort of expanded to a point where we're working in a couple of schools.
Yeah.
And it's just been really, it's been fun.
Oh,
I
that's
really
good.
enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. And everybody keeps asking, "Are you going to do it?" We're not doing any more books. These are 12 that focus on literacy, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, so the 3 series are going well.
Well, no, that's good, as I know, and thank you so much too for connecting. And just I see stuff as you're putting it out on socials and everything. It's always so good to connect.
Well, 73 social media is not my forte, but I think I finally got a couple of volunteers because it's like trying to get one up a day. It's been like woo, because you're just not.
Yeah.
They didn't have this when I was learning to teach or read, so. It's amazing.
We just talked about that with Alejandra, how good it is right now to have things like this and even books like this where kids can see themselves, and there's so much intentionality in bringing in the diversity around. Yeah, we appreciate what you do.
Yeah. My background is mainly research, and I've always loved the little kids, but in 75 when I finished my degrees, it didn't pay much, so I ended up going to the other extreme. But I always wanted to come back.
Yeah.
So one of the things about the book, one of the things that I really liked about this project, this whole was the focus on literacy, and we try to put action in all the books because of the fact that there's a lot of research that says our kids do better when they're seeing movement and action. We try to put some character development, like helping seniors and stuff there. So it was really intentional. It was intentional, in addition to seeing themselves.
No, and I'm glad. And do you have all the 12 series here today?
Yes, I always carry them
so
in a box.
We will be coming through to load up on that and take those home. And and I hope that too, like, we can finally make story time and Akira's story time come together.
And I'm excited about it because I've been following you for a long time, and with 11 grandchildren, it's really nice to see those guys.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. No, I remember when my first sister had the first child, my first niece, the next generation, and my mom just changed, like different person. It's like, we're still here, Mom. We're still here.
You sound like my son. Why is she getting something and I'm not getting something? So, I can relate to that. But it's so much easier being a grandparent. Because you can love and give them stuff, and then you send them home.
Sounds like being a teacher.
Well, a little bit different. Teacher has 20 to 25 at one time. It's a challenge. I admire teachers.
Yeah, no, people have asked, like, how do you do it in the class? How do you do it? I'm like, well, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, oh, here, Mom, here, Dad, here, parents, here, like, they can move on. But no, thank you for being here.
You're so
thank you for connecting and always just being so warm. Honestly, we need this. We need these books.
Well, I'm excited, and it's a wonderful retirement gig. I mean, it's something that I love to do, and you meet wonderful people. And I've been with the social justice group for some time. I don't do many. Well, I haven't done any pop-ups, but I do this one
every time.
I really enjoy, the intentionality.
Yes, around it. Yeah, no, it's just amazing. Every single one, there's just been such a great community, like, and that's why even when they say this year, like, we're doing it, I'm like, I'll be there. Just tell me, just say when.
Well, keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. Okay. No, thank you. And I will definitely come through. But do you want to show the ones that you have right now and just share a little bit about them? Yeah.
Okay. The 3 series and the 12. This is the most popular book. It's called
Kira's animal alphabet alliteration.
Yeah,
So,
and it's based on the fact that multisyllabic words are easy for kids. We just always give them baby words.
Yeah.
So instead of A is for apple, it's armadillos, artsy antics. And this one is animated on the website, so you can get it free too there. So that's that series, and that series also has one for antonyms, homonyms, and synonyms. And so this is our 5-book series, which is
yes.
five of the 7 most used parts of
Yeah.
speech. So we have nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and pronouns. And it has a rhyming cadence, and we have big ideas of how we're going to do this one in the near future online. And this is our last series. It's a 3. And it's a watercolor series.
Yeah.
And the late Heidi Wyckoff, who did the watercolor of the different monuments in Oakland, this is her last work, and she did our 3 books. And these are based on sort of research. For instance, this one is sort of a self-love book.
Yes.
We have the second one in the series is a creativity. Can you haiku? Because we think creativity is really important.
I should introduce you to my friend Jeremy if he's still around.
And
he loves
haiku.
Yes.
And the third one in this series is it's called The First 10 Days, and it talks about cardinal and ordinal numbers, but it's really on self-love. Like, so it's sort of, whenever I read that one, I always feel like people are looking at me like, well, actually, this is The First 10 Days. I have it mixed up because it's a little girl who sort of gets bullied. The first day of school, they called her names, but she strutted through the hallway just the same. And she goes through this, and by the time the readers and we read it gets to 9, they're saying, this poor child. But at the end, the last one is, on the 10th day of school, it's something like they finally got what she was all about.
Yes.
She loves her self. That's the way she is. Yeah, and I really love this book. As a matter of fact, when it first came out, when my girlfriend bought 10 for her girlfriends.
Yeah, no, it is so. No, those are so needed. Thank you.
So much.
No, I would definitely stop by the booth before you go.
Okay.
And,
Thank you so much.
If they're going too quickly, please put aside.
Well, I love them, and I'm so happy that we finally got to talk in person versus online.
Me too.
Okay.
Me too. Thank you.
You're so
I'll see you in a bit. Thank you so much. All right, so before we bring in the next guest, we're just going to have Lydia show us around what's happening here at the Social Justice Children's Book Holiday Fair at Teance. Thank you so much for being here with us. And I'm getting messages too if you want. All right. No, we are good. All right, here we go. Lydia, are you ready? All right, here we go. Hi.
Hello, welcome to the fair. Here we are.
Oh, yours, Lydia.
Welcome to the fair. You can see here, got a great turnout. We'll do a little panorama here. Grayson, you just talked to all of these awesome people. I think we're going to hear from James in a little bit. You can see some of the organizers' tables way over there. Awesome people. Thank you to Teance for having everyone here. We love to see it. Yes.
Oh, I see. That's John Castleberry. I love it.
Shout out to John.
Hey, John.
So here we go. Yep. That's the scene.
Oh, thank you, Lydia. It's looking good.
Balloons. Come find the balloons when you're walking down the street. Back to you, Mr. Limata.
All right, thank you. All right, that's Lydia Yamaguchi showing us around what's happening here at the fair. Lots and lots of things happening. And I have a troublemaker, right? How are you doing, Angela? Oh, my goodness. One of my favorite people by far. Yes, and I'm putting it out there today.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing so
We've been doing some great work.
You and Lydia have been doing a fantastic job. Seriously. Story time with Mr. Limata. Mr. Limata, Lydia, what a great combo, great duo. You guys are making this fair so fantastic, as you do every year.
Great. It is so good.
Every year. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I know you're here today, literally wearing a hat, but you're wearing many hats.
Wearing many hats today.
Many hats today. Please
Yes.
kick us off. Which one?
Well, okay, let's start off with Tandem. I'm here representing as a board member. First of all, my name is Angela Dalton. Somebody didn't tell you that. My name is Angela Dalton.
Tandem, they're right here.
And I am a picture book author, but today I am here, like you said, I'm wearing many hats. I'm a board member. This is my first year as a board member. Tandem, Partners in Early Learning. Their mission, they're based in the Bay Area. Their mission is to support educators and families in helping that their kids, the ages 0 to 5, become literacy success, have literacy success. So they do that in many different ways, one of which, most important, is through books and reading and championing reading and how to enhance your child's reading experience. So they develop those cognitive skills, those retention skills that they need so that they'll perform in school the way that they need to.
Aww.
And so that is their dedication. I love the program. It's a wonderful organization. So check them out, Tandem, Partners in Early Learning.
Yes.
They've got great study guides if you're looking for study guides or creative activities to go along with picture books, and a wonderful list of picture books that they support, a lot of which are local authors who are here today.
Yes, and we'll be doing something together this week.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Thank you. Oh, look at you. Keeping me on track. Yes. Oh, this Friday, we're so excited. Peter has kindly offered to have Tandem executive director Savitha Morthy. She's fantastic. She's wonderful. I'm so excited for her to come on to be able to explain in more detail, better than myself, of what Tandem does and what they're doing and the authors that they support. So if you can watch them this Friday morning.
Yes, Friday morning. I thought you were coming too.
I'll be there. But I'll be in the background.
Background for Angela, we'll see.
Causing trouble.
I'm to see that. And then, but you also have.
Yes, I also have Storytime Friends. Storytime Friends.
Put it up.
Oh, Storytime Friends.
Yes. What is Storytime Friends? What's happening with this?
Oh, this is such a labor of love. Myself and 3 other picture book authors, Alex Giardino, Mira Shriram, and Michael Genhardt.
Mira here?
She was. She left already, unfortunately.
Oh.
She did, unfortunately. And Michael is sick today, so Michael, shout out to you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
With Storytime Friends, the 4 of us are picture book authors. We came together and we realized that there was a gap in kids in hospitals receiving picture books, and especially with COVID, and COVID protocols, a lot of kids unfortunately have been in the hospital without being able to see their loved ones and not really being able to have books because of quarantine and not being able to share materials. So we came together and came up with Storytime Friends, which is an in-house video series with your host, Peter Limata, of Storytime with Mr. Limata. He was kind enough to become our host. He reads the books on screen. He creates videos with us. And then we also are able to get book donations from authors and their publishers, which has been really wonderful.
Yeah.
So
and when she says we get to make videos, she means it. We get to make videos together. Ryan Kugler over here.
That's Ava. It's Ava to you, friend.
Take it back. Over here.
We have a lot of fun. If you can't tell, we can't
absolutely.
tell. We do, though. We have a really great. It's just a great group of people who've come together, and we've gotten such great support from local authors. Again, every author that we've reached out to, which was 34, and we thought maybe we'd hear back from 10.
Every single one.
Every single one.
Change.
Yes. Plus, we get more and more people are asking how they can contribute and donate their books. So, this has just been, a love, passion project for all of us, and so every child that leaves the hospital leaves with a book. We have wonderful collaboration with Children's Fairyland, who just donated family passes. So they go home with a family pass to go see Children's Fairyland and have some fun. And then they also can see Mr. Limata on Storytime with Mr. Limata when they go home and stay connected with their favorite Storytime host.
Sure. No, thank you. No, it's been such a fun project. But I also know that you have other projects that you're working on, new books,
Yes.
of course, in addition to the ones that we already love here at Storytime.
Oh, thank you. Well, hopefully next month you'll see me on Storytime with Mr. Limata. I have a new book coming out called To Boldly Go, How Nichelle Nichols and Star Trek Helped to Advance Civil Rights. It's a picture book biography about Nichelle Nichols and her impact on, American television, American history, the civil rights movement, and also NASA and space exploration. She was an incredible, incredible human being and did so much. And so it's kind of an honor, not kind of an honor, it is an honor to be able to bring this book and hopefully introduce new generation to the original Star Trek, which was the best Star Trek.
No, this is great. Angela, and where can they find you?
You can find me at angeladalton.com for more information.
Yes, and Angela, I finally got her to do something for Storytime. So you'll be seeing Angela saying hello a little bit more on Storytime. But yes.
But I can't wait to come back next month.
There's lots of nudging, and it finally happened.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much to everybody who's watching today. Yes. Thank you to all the authors and the organizers of this great event.
It is a wonderful event.
Thank you for your time. You're the best. You're
I'm
the best.
coming over and, well, I guess I will. Do I have to buy a copy?
I'll give you a copy.
No,
all right. Well, you got somebody else coming up next.
Thank
But
you.
thank you for having me, and thank you for joining us. Okay. Bye.
I'll see you. Yes, we are ready. Oh my goodness, so good to see you. It's been a year.
It's good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I know we talked last year.
Yeah, real quick.
Please welcome. I love these. I love these. Yeah, no, I love these. Please tell us a little bit more about.
Okay. Yeah. So I make coloring books. I make activity, history, learning, educational coloring books. I was living in New York City and super inspired 2010. Yeah. And I was like, I can make a coloring book about hip hop because I'm living in Harlem and stuff. And so this was the first book that I made, 2010. And in between then I've made like smaller activity books and whatever, but like this great reception. And then 2020, the end of 2021, I came out with the Women of the Black Panther Party coloring book.
Yes, and I think I got that from you last time. I want to share too, like I got to use it with my fourth graders in class, and it was just like you could just see how much like, oh, what was this? It's like, there was more to the Black Panther than what we might hear, the bits that we might hear.
And I think that's the purpose of creating coloring books. These type of coloring books specifically is that we can provide history and a learning tool and art at the same time for like these up and coming generations.
Right.
Plus, it's just great to have as far as our own fun version of our own history,
There it is, and so where can people find you? How do they,
excuse me. I'm
You're good.
I'm Creative Shields on everything, creativeshields.com. On everything, and man, I'm kind of just in between projects right now because I'm a painter and I'm a designer, so I'm typically doing a lot of that. But I'm getting a lot of requests to do the Bay Area hip hop coloring book right now. So
please
like,
please do.
That might be on the map right now.
Yes, and with wasn't there a street that will be renamed or part of?
Oh yeah,
that will be renamed.
So for the Black Panther Party.
Yes.
Yeah. So the Black Panther Party like mural project, Women of the Black Panther Party mural project, that's up and running in West Oakland on 10th Street. And even down the street on the Mandela Parkway, there's the Huey P. Newton sculpture bus that was done by Danny King. So, it's just a lot of history that's being contributed by activists and artists, you know what I mean, that are owning it. Owning it and sharing it, which is cool.
And how has Oakland, welcomed you? You mentioned all these things that you've been doing for the city. How has the city welcomed you?
It's been real slow. That's the way I like to address it. I moved here in 2014.
Right.
Got my first job teaching in the after-school program at Bret Hart.
Oh, yes.
That's when I started muraling. You know what I mean? It's just the activism and the community engagement is done at a level that kind of sets a standard for a lot of people to participate in. So,
Right.
so for everything that I've got from it is giving back to me. So
No, I like I meant to really like I wanted you to come to my class, and I know we didn't quite work, especially with all the COVID protocols and everything that was happening. But you got to reach so many kids
yeah,
at our school site, and the ones that I got to share it with teachers and everybody else was like, check out this book. And every time I would hold out, I'll just have it,
yeah.
and people were like,
Yeah.
Black Panther, like what's that? What drove you into specifically focusing on the women of the Black Panther?
Well, it was a culmination of the project coming together.
Yeah.
Jill Christina, who owns the house where the mural is, she was like, I want this mural. And I was saying, well, I can paint the mural, but I also do coloring books.
Yes.
And eventually I ended up focusing on the coloring book. And, it's the opportunity to make history
Yes.
out of history.
Yeah.
Like you got to continue to tell the stories. And so when you have those opportunities and it's there for us, like these historical figures are still living,
Yeah.
the photography, the style, the fashion, it's all inspiring. So I just get to go into research mode, and the artist in me comes out with taking all of the inspiration and transforming it, into what we see now as a book. So
No, it's amazing. I can't speak highly of it enough because there's just been so much, and I saw the impact of it and the impact it had on me, because there are many things at times, because the Black Panther Party, the name is so well known and it's so so often spoken that people think they know all they need to know. And then you look into all those things, you're like, oh my goodness, like you did.
It goes deep.
Yeah.
It goes deep. So I think, this is like 40 pages.
Yes.
40 pages of history and knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I hope that, let's definitely connect further some more today, because I know like I have your contacts and everything, so that we can bring you back to story time, have more conversation, and like maybe do some coloring with the kids
activities,
and then just like definitely connect. But it's just it's inspiring, and it's so good to see like a lot more Black men, people of color out in their owning the history, owning the narrative, the story.
Let's do it, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Good to see you.
Story time, baby. Story time.
Love it. Thank you. I'll see you before we go. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you. If you have not had a chance to be here yet, please come on out. Storytime is happening right here. We are at Teance. And remember too that this is our special event, the Social Justice Children's Book Holiday Fair. One day I will get to be able to say that name. I can. Come on through. Oh, Lawrence, Dad, welcome. Thank you.
All right, we all in there?
Oh, yes. I'm so glad to have you here. Like, I don't even have to say anymore.
You want to sit here.
Thanks for doing this.
Oh, this is great.
This is my first time at the book fair in person.
Oh,
because he was on 2 years ago when we did it online, right?
I was still in LA then. So.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome. Are you officially on this side now?
Yes, I moved back to Oakland.
Oh, please, please tell us more. And also, Lydia's sister works at the Japanese American
Exactly,
Museum.
and we know each other.
Oh, you do?
Yes, it's a small world.
It's a small world for sure. But tell us, I know that you've partnered on these amazing projects. You want to tell us a little bit more about them?
Sure. So Laura and I co-wrote this book called Fred Korematsu Speaks Up, which is a biography of a Japanese-American man who, during World War II, refused to go to the camps that the government forced Japanese Americans into. And he challenged that, and he went to court, and his case went all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court, which unfortunately ruled against him in 1944. But 40 years later, based on evidence that during World War II, the government had basically lied to the Supreme Court and said there was a threat that Japanese Americans posed, Fred reopened his case and got his criminal conviction overturned. And he became an activist and spoke around the country about his case.
Yeah, no, it's such an inspiring story. And also, I thought of you too, specifically too, when they were talking about the school closures that were happening in Oakland. and I know that Korematsu Discovery was one of the schools that was being closed. And for me, it just, especially because I had gotten to know a little bit more of the story and just wondered to how you, or I don't know how you all felt about it, or how, if you were able to put in a word or anything about those school closures, or even just Korematsu Discovery in particular.
Yeah, that's actually we never went there.
No, interestingly, it's one of the few schools in the area we didn't go to.
Right, we did go to the Korematsu Elementary School in Davis. That was the first school I think that was named for him. And we went to the Korematsu Middle School in El Cerrito.
Yeah.
But yeah, we never.
There was one in El Cerrito.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
In fact, Allison Bogey here was the librarian there.
Yeah.
A great library. But yeah.
And how has it been? Because these are topics that are so powerful, so important, need to be told. But I feel like with curriculum, it's almost shies away. There's this talking of, say, incarceration and everything that happened in almost a historical, like it had no effects. Like it happened, it's done, and it's gone. Like, what do you hope to bring forth with books like this?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Fighting for Justice series that Fred Korematsu speaks up as part of are books that tell the story of people who fought for civil rights in California history. And I think for us, it's making sure that young people today know how hard people in the past had to fight for what we can take for granted. And as we see now, rights that are constantly being threatened. So to make sure that kids know, that teachers know, people, librarians who work with kids. And I think part of what we also hope with the books is that they can open up space for discussion. And that we tell not just that person's story, so we can talk about Fred Korematsu, but we can also tell the story of other people, larger historical contexts. Wong Kim Ark, who really won through the Supreme Court birthright citizenship. Or Ralph Lazo, who was the only non-Japanese American non-spouse, maybe, who was at least as Manzanar, who went as an act of solidarity. A high school student, wasn't he a high school student at the time?
Wow.
Right, so we're able to, because of the format of the books, because we use a poetic structure to kind of tell that person's biography, but then we can showcase broader. We include art and newspaper articles and definitions and timelines. So I think we want the books to be like their own little, kind of curriculum, like you were saying. Like you can read this book and have a whole opportunity to learn about something that a lot of people don't actually know about.
No, I've appreciated them. Like I learned a lot, and that's one of the things to having moved to the US. Having moved to the Bay Area and being able to talk about these things, reading books like yours, is not just for the kids. And how do we make sure that because the decision makers, as much as we're writing them so that our kids can learn from them and benefit, how do we get those, the stakeholders, the other stakeholders in there, the adults, the people, the decision makers, the people that are buying books in classrooms, on how do we push and make sure that they're being educated on this material?
That's a great question. I think in part, if parents and students, when they're learning about stories like Fred Korematsu's or Biddy Mason, or wrote a book called Biddy Mason Speaks Up with Lisa White, when they learn about these stories, if they demand that school administrators and leaders of school boards include these types of stories in the curriculum, then I think we'll see some changes.
Right, and that's what's having to happen now, right? Is like students are having to protest and stand up in districts where there's a list of 800 books that have been banned that were from some Republican congressman. That we have students often, as typically, right? The young people are really taking the lead in fighting for their own right to learn real history.
Yes. No, and it's so true you say that, because I've seen it. I had the 4th grade class last year, and I saw it. There were times where I'm like, I need to prep them and talk about this, and they'll just take it in stride. They would have so much contribution. I was like, I guess you are way ahead than I thought. You're way ahead than me in my thinking. But no, I'm so glad that you've opened to do this. And where can people find you? Where do we find these books? And I know that we have other books as well too.
Yeah, I mean, we have a website, fightingforjusticeseries.com, I think is what it is.
That's right.
we don't say it very often. And a
All one
Facebook
word.
page, a Facebook group, I think, that sometimes gets posted to. And Stan and I have done a lot of school visits.
Across the country, actually. I think we've spoken to more than 8,000 students across the country.
Yeah.
Since this book came out in
Yeah.
2017.
And any other trips that are coming up? Any other?
With COVID, no.
It just tanked, basically. I mean, we've done a few, like
Online.
and we just finally were back in Moraga in person, right? That was the first in-person one we've done for a while.
And how did that feel? How was it?
It's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to be back. And there's a teacher in San Francisco who has us every year. She puts on, she's at a Japanese, it's a public school, right, in San Francisco, but Clarendon, right. And she does a play every year about Fred Korematsu. So she brings us back every year.
And, like I know that, now you're in the Bay, so hopefully we get to see you more. And are there any other partnerships that are happening apart from schools, visiting schools? Are there any other partnerships that you're doing for the Fighting for Justice series?
I think that's it. I developed a presentation with Regina Evans for a while with Biddy Mason Speaks Up because Ariso I wrote it with moved to Maine, so we couldn't do presentations together. But then Regina moved to New York. So this one hasn't been kind of presented as much in the schools. And then my little sled dog dachshund book that I wrote is part of Storytime Friends. So that's a fun partnership, which hopefully I'm sure you've talked about here. So
yes, that's a fun story. I love it. But could you tell us a little bit more about Biddy Mason?
Yeah.
And
So
why Biddy Mason?
Well, so why is Back to Stan? Because the series was sort of birthed with you and Malcolm Margolin, who was the publisher at Heyday. And then when Stan, after Fred Korematsu Speaks Up, just kind of passed the baton, I did a little kind of search and found Arisa White, a poet, and she and I worked together. So Biddy Mason was an enslaved woman who was brought to California, and even though California was a free state, she was still kept captive, enslaved, because it often wasn't enforced. And so she won her freedom through the courts in Los Angeles. She was a midwife, became a doctor's assistant, bought property, and became one of the wealthiest women in Los Angeles, and also became a philanthropist and community activist. So her life kind of covered this incredible span in U.S. history. And I didn't know about her before I worked on the book. I didn't know about Fred Korematsu either. So and I grew up in California, going to California schools. So.
Yeah, no, thank you both for just the amazing work that you do and in educating us. And I mean that because I have gotten so much from reading these two books and just, like being around the spaces, of course, with a lot more with you, Laura, in the spaces. And now that we're here, we can, continue to definitely engage. And I just want to, just thank you for putting out there and being brave to put out, because it's not easy putting out material like this and telling the story as it should be.
Thank you, Peter, for all that you do. My God, with so much heart.
I love it. Thank you, Stan. I'm so glad. Well, I'm so glad you're here.
I am too.
Sure. And I miss you.
I'm LA.
Okay.
All right. Well,
thank you,
and thanks for doing all this. Okay. All right.
Yes. Oh, that was Stan Yogi and Laura Atkins, and please follow them, see all the amazing work that they're doing, and just amazing work, fantastic work, really hard-hitting topics, but that must be told, and a big thank you to them for sure. And get ready for our next guest. Come on through.
Meeting a celebrity. I've always wanted to meet you. Oh, what a treat. What a treat. Oh my gosh, hold on. I just have to soak this in. Mr. Limata. Okay, I love Mr. Limata.
Thank you so much. Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here in Berkeley with you.
Oh, this is so awesome. I was like, and are you in the area too?
Kind of, sort of. I'm in the peninsula.
I'm working down the peninsula now.
Oh, so you know.
And I'm glad that it wasn't pouring too heavily today, so I was still able to get here. But yes, you have amazing work.
Yes. Yeah, We Are Gems.
Well, tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so We Are Gems is about the everyday racism that we face, microaggressions. Microaggressions, they sound nice at first, but they're actually
like put downs. So you have a book about those kind of microaggression put downs, so that caregivers can talk about it with their children, and children can explore that topic.
Yeah. No, this is. And what prompted you to put out again another? This is why I love this. Like this event, the Social Justice Children's Book Holiday Fair, because we get like real life-hitting topics. What prompted you to?
Yeah, so it's kind of a sad story. Well, I was at the grocery store 2 years ago, and a man came up to me in the grocery store, started yelling really mean words to me. Yeah, and he told me to like go back to my country and all these like harmful things. And what broke my heart was that as that was happening, there were little children around us.
Right.
And I was like, ooh, like how are parents going to talk about this? But then I realized, well, what about the everyday racism that we see all the time that goes kind of quietly around us?
Yeah.
So I wanted to create a resource to help parents and teachers.
Yeah.
And I'm a teacher myself. So.
Yes. Oh, thank you. And no, thank you for doing this. And have you been able to visit places, and what kind of conversations have you been able to have using the book?
Yeah, a few things. So the books are illustrated by Christine Yoon, who's an ER doctor and an artist, and Andrew Hen, who's also an artist.
Not fair. Oh, so gifted.
They are very gifted. The responses we're getting is I think the illustrations are helping folks like cope with a really hard topic. The topic is heavy, but the illustrations really show. Let me just show you some of the love that we have for ourselves. Yeah. One of my favorite pages is this of like all the Asian American children, like the bubbles and their elders. Yeah. There's a lot of positive love by our illustrations.
This is so good.
Thank you. Oh, this is
Limata. This is amazing, and how were you able? I mean, you've transformed this negative thing that happened and transformed it into this powerful tool that can help us. You talked about the children that were around there, thinking of them, and why was that important to you that we turn this into a teaching opportunity, into a learning opportunity?
I think because like the part about social justice is that there's a lot of joy in social justice. You want joy for everyone around you. Yeah. And I just wanted like more joy, more healing, more love for all of us in our community. And that's what really motivated me to get this book.
Yeah. No, and because in spaces as we're moving, even here in California, but sometimes being in the Bay, it seems like, it's accepting, but there are always little things that happen every now and then, or things that are happening that we know about. And how can we as community continue to encourage our little ones, to take those steps, to be good citizens, or to be, good community members?
Such a good question. This is why you're Mr. Limata. Well, I think it has to do with some cultural humility and respect, right? Like, I've done microaggressions, sadly. I'm not proud of it, but I've made microaggressions, and helping young people see as adults to show, I've done them, and this is how I repair that relationship. This is how I learn from that experience. Right. So I think as adults, we need to really model that to our little ones. Yeah.
So, modeling that, being vulnerable with them.
Yes, being vulnerable.
I really appreciate that, because I saw that in my own classroom too, where at times, you're thinking, maybe, you hear noise and you're thinking, oh, it's this kid, and you say something or do something.
Ooh, and I've done that.
Yeah, and then later on, right, they're like, was it me? Or you're like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, to be able to say I'm sorry, to be able to apologize. And I've tried really to make it so I apologize to them in front of everybody. Wow. So they know, because I feel like a lot of times it's easy to go maybe later on that, oh, I'm sorry I didn't. But I think to say it and let the others know, we will make mistakes, even as adults. And like you're saying, like, we do these things, whether consciously or unconsciously, like it is happening. So how do we then move and correct that?
How did you know to restore relationships in your classroom like that? Like, not everyone does that. That's beautiful.
I think part of it was always I was stubborn. I am stubborn, and I would always find. But then at some point, I was like, no, I have to own it. I have to own what I've done here, and especially for the little kids, because if I just hold on to this thing that I've done without correcting it, without repairing it, what am I sending them into the world as? So I'm telling them it's okay, just do this. You can do whatever and hold on to that. And so, and then I've always felt like, oh, I want a sense of justice. So I'm like, what is their sense of justice? Like, how do I acknowledge that? Right? And yeah, and so it's been hard, but definitely something that I, over time, I've learned, and especially to kids, because as adults, it's so easy at times. You're the authority figure, and you just feel, oh, I can get away with it. No, it's not about if you can get away with it or not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's about the relationship, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And so, what others are in the works, or are you?
Oh yes, thanks for asking. I have many manuscripts.
Yeah.
I kind of want to create DEI for children, so that they don't have to do DEI as adults.
Oh, yes, right. Oh, that's so yes.
And so I have one about internalized racism.
Yeah. And just DEI, just elaborate, because I know, like somebody out there might be wondering, what is DEI?
Yeah, so DEI is like diversity, equity, inclusion.
Yes.
There's a lot of initiatives right now in schools and companies to make sure everyone feels included and that they belong. And I think, and sometimes adults are playing catch up to kids. And so I just want to make sure we ground our conversations with our children early on, so that they can further the work of joy and justice for our world.
We're due a story time, so I hope that we can connect and bring this book to story time and this conversation, continue this conversation over there too. And definitely, and please do not go yet without. I will purchase a book, and please have it signed too.
Of course. I would love to. Oh my God, Limata, what's our book? Like, I love it.
Thank you so much for coming in. This has been Cole Kim joining us, and of course, please look out for this book. We are Jazz. Find it where you find books, and of course, follow you on your socials.
Yes, Just Words, Just Deeds on Instagram.
Awesome, and so please do that, and thank you for being here. Thank you for tackling the hard issues.
Yes,
it is needed. It is needed.
And we are all gems.
Yes.
Bye, gems. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, just so much fun here. I hope you were able to find your way out here and share with us and just kind of get to see what's happening. There's been so much. Thank you indeed for being here. Yes. Oh, wait.
Finally.
Yes. So as you know, today we are at this special place, Teance, in Berkeley, and so this is Chiwi.
Hi, everybody.
Tell us a little bit more about Teance.
My name is Huiber. I'm a Teance tea buyer now. So Teance has been established since 2002 in Albany.
20 years.
In Albany City, Solana Avenue. In 2006, we moved to 4th Street. In 2019, we moved to current location, which we are so grateful, honored to hosting this annual book fair. Because Teance, we really believe small business community, so we want to supporting our Bay Area book creator. And create a lot of community event. So just a little announce. We are going to do another community event, Lunar New Year. Next month we have save the day, January 29th. We're gonna have an all-day event. We haven't come out all the detail, but definitely we're opening with a lion dance celebration. So mark it down in your calendar and join us, like small local, and we're gonna invite some local business come and like a local history, and maybe Peter want to do the Lunar New Year story time.
Right here.
Yeah.
And so too, just wondering, like, if somebody's coming to Teance, what should they expect? Why should I come to Teance?
So the Teance, we bought really local, direct, small, farmer and direct import, and we have a nice tea bar, so we can do you can kind of tea bar meeting other tea lover and like a social community as well, and we have a nice outdoor to have a tea, and all our tea is seasonal, hand-picked and premium ingredients, and which today a lot of people come and get an opportunity to try the tea.
No, and you do have, too, that with Teance, that you come here, it is the festive period, it is the holiday season.
Yeah.
Come and get some of those cool
tea,
gifts right here.
Gift for your people you love to share our tea. Yeah.
No,
And
thank you for hosting us in this wonderful space.
We're so honored to hosting, and it's so wonderful seeing the book creators here and people come out to supporting in this cold day.
Yeah. No, this has been lovely. I love it, and thank you for hosting. This has been, it's just such a great place,
Yes.
and hopefully, people, where Teance now is. It's on Grayson Street. What's the number?
1036 Grayson Street and Cross Street is San Pablo.
San Pablo,
near the West Berkeley Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. All your markers are on there. So please come on to Teance and just have great surroundings. I'm sitting outside right now. Cool breeze, nice space. If you're having some tea and just come on out to Teance.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. It's great to have you guys here.
No, it is good to be here. Honestly, I love it, and it's I'd definitely be a regular here.
Yeah, it's a nice community.
Yeah, and also I just wanted to ask, because you have people at times, who go to cafes, go to other places for work, and all that kind of thing. Do you at Teance, do you have people that can come and work
sit down?
from here, sit down, or
we do. We do have a Wi-Fi here. You can, generally we try to, if you're using your computer, we'll sit outside our tea garden, the yard, because inside the bar is more community. People interact, you talk to each other. So we do have a space for you to sit quietly, to reading. Some people like to read, outdoor where we're sitting right here, or do your computer work. Or even renting, some customers say, no, I want to sit outside to listen to rain. And then with a warm tea, so cozy.
No, I love it. So you heard it. So the cool spot in your neighborhood right here in Berkeley. Really cool surroundings. Coming out to Teance, and of course, get to, when you're here, say hi to Chewy.
And come over, and you never know what happened to the bar. We're always having fun, taste a lot of different tea. The conversation come out so interesting. Everybody's tea experience or any experience, and we meet some artists as well, and all different kind of people.
Love it. Well, this has been story time here today, live from Teance. Thank you for joining in, and this is Chewy. So please find Teance, and
thank you
for joining us. I'm glad you could come in.
Bye.
Thank you. Oh, you guess who's coming next? Oh.
How you doing, brother?
I am good. How are you doing, John?
I'm good. It's a little chilly out here, but we're being warmed up by all the love that's happening out here.
It is amazing.
It's been a great day. The rain held off, so we had some good weather. A little chilly, but that's okay. That's okay. It kept us awake.
Right. No, for sure, it did. No, there's lots, and I'm just realizing now, like, I did bring hot chocolate, but I did not bring the nuggets.
I've done that so many times. Pour myself something and left it on the counter.
Right. But, we got to talk a little bit about the book in the morning, about what you're doing, like, how has it been? How is it being here with
It's been great. It's been great. Meeting, not only the other authors and artists, but also the people that come, teachers and not only parents, but also teachers. My parents show up and they're interested. And then I just met a person who is a literacy nonprofit.
Which is it's like Kira's Books.
Kira's Book Club.
Amazing.
I was just talking to Chris about, they're putting up these mini libraries all across Oakland. So it's a great way to bring, these different people that, like I said, that still all have the same trajectory of trying to increase literacy for kids and diverse literacy for it's not just for children of color to see a diverse group of characters, but it's for all kids.
All kids, absolutely.
Need to see diversity represented in order to get a realistic view of what society not only is, but should be.
Should be, absolutely. Normalize it. Like, we should not.
Right.
It should be
diversity isn't a novel idea. It's what happens in nature. Right. It's we make it out like it's this trending thing, but it's what has always happened in nature. Everywhere you look, in every garden, in every forest, in every species, you see diversity. And we're the only ones that name it because there's some need to name it, like as if it's not.
That's so true and so powerful. But like for somebody coming in and not knowing who John Castleberry is, who is John Castleberry?
Oh, he's a superhero. Yeah, no. I try to be to my kids, right? I try.
Tell us a little bit more again.
The Courageous Adventures of the Conqueror's Kids. It's a chapter book about a diverse group of characters that encounter personal and community challenges, and they deal with it as a group, as a community, and it's about collaborative spirit. It's about empowerment. It's about how you don't need to be like your friends because your differences are your superpower. That's what makes you so needed and so necessary right now in this time. And you're born in a time when you're needed to be here. And what you bring is different than what everybody else brings. And it's just, and this is a perfect example where all these artists here and authors here, but there's no competition because everybody's bringing something different to the table.
Right.
And all of it is needed.
Yeah. No, it is so true. It is so true. And I, like just in this book that you talked about, I always refer to chapter 2 Geos.
Yes.
Like that one also, there's so much, it touches me so much, but that one too, just talking about seeing how community can come together to develop things, to push back against things. And it's just such a powerful tool. And with that in mind, how are our young ones different? And I know you have 2 little ones. So how are our young ones different? Or how are you seeing the fight in them?
That's one of the things that I've been marveling at, like just with our girls are 13, we have twins, and they're 13 now. And one of the things that I marvel at is how in touch they are, that their self-awareness, their level of self-awareness, and how they have permission and they give themselves permission. To be who they are, to own and embrace and decide what their identity is going to be.
Right.
And I'm seeing that with one of our girls that, and the kids today, they talk about pronouns and they talk about having a sexuality, which is not about sex.
Right.
It's just about how they're identified. And sometimes I look to them to understand it more.
Right. No,
because they're so immersed in it, and their generation is so immersed.
Yeah, it's so normal.
And even when they were like 6 and 7 years old, I was like, wow, today's 6-year-olds are not the 6-year-olds we were. Our girls were going on women's marches and all this, at 6 and 7 years old, and being very involved and aware of the political landscape and the social landscape of the society that they're in, and it makes me hopeful.
No, hopeful. Every time I talk to you, John, hopeful comes up, and I agree with you. I wouldn't agree with you more. It's just, it is so true. Like we need that. We need, because it's so easy at times to just be bogged down by what the adults are doing. When you look out, it's the adults that are doing all the awful things. Our kids are way more.
Our kids today are just, they're just amazing. And I look at our girls, their friend group, I couldn't be happier with the group of friends that they choose, and and they're in middle school now, so the drama is starting to happen, but the way that they deal with it, and the way that they deal with the different personalities in their lives, and being able to say that's that person, that's not me, and that's their journey, and that's their and being able to make that discernment between owning what's theirs and what's not, and being in control of their taking ownership of their experiences.
No, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for sharing these experiences, and indeed, thank you for sharing the Conscious Kids with us. I cannot emphasize that enough. Like these, I've just been like the things that you've talked about in this book, you and Madeline, it's just been so amazing to see. And I was
trying to get her over here on camera, but she's running around.
Thank you
so much, man. Nothing but love and respect to you, man. You're just amazing individual, man.
Let's get together with the group.
Yes.
Soon I'll send out the next one.
Yes.
Hopefully we do one in December, and then I know it's family time, but hopefully we get to do one before the new year.
Yes. Yes.
And,
Fantastic.
Thank
you.
Thank you so much, John. Good to see you.
Hey, you guys join in on Reading with Mr. Limata, story time with Mr. Limata. It's going to be the best part of your morning, I promise you.
Thank you so much. I'll see you before you head out. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. And do we still have Haley Dieppe? All right. Yeah, so we still have Haley Dieppe coming to join us. You remember Haley Dieppe from the If You Give a Girl a Bike. Amazing book, fantastic book. She's here again this year, and she'll be right up joining us here on Storytime. Thank you for being here with us. Yes. Okay, sounds good. Hi.
Hi, how are you? Hello. Good seeing you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And before we even talk about If You Give a Girl a Bike, congratulations. Oh my goodness.
Thanks.
Get all the autographs now.
What?
High rollers over here.
No.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I saw the new book. The rights are
Yeah.
acquired. And
That's really exciting. Yeah, it's been a big dream. So
I mean,
I'm
you've
excited.
done this
Yeah.
book, this amazing book, distributing it on your own,
Yeah.
doing everything, and so I'm happy for you that you're doing this other side too, and
it's
we get
getting to
see
see
if
the
we get that.
difference. Yeah, it's been like it's a different process for
Yeah.
sure. It's like a lot less responsibility on my end in some ways. I'm like, oh, I just like gotta
Yeah.
sit here and like wait.
And wait, yeah. How hard is the waiting? And
The waiting, that was a challenge. It was
Yeah.
like, I was talking to them since like February, and like it's a lot of deliberating from February all the way until October.
yes, and
When they
it's not.
finally-
When is it coming out?
Not until fall of 2023.
Yeah, so that's when
So-
like learning all those things I've been seeing with people doing that. But before that comes out, clearly you've been putting in a lot of work on that.
Mhm.
How has If You Give a Girl a Bike done, and how do you feel about it?
This book is still so special to me. I still love it. It's been doing well. I think I show it to my kids. Like I teach first grade, and so they love it, and they like. It makes me so happy to see kids like reading it. And then today, a little girl came by, and her mom's like, "Oh, we already have this book," and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And she's like, "But it's actually because of your book that my daughter's riding bikes." Like she got the book, read it, and started riding bikes, and I thought that was. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that such a powerful thing? And that's what I like. Where, and I say this to authors many times: is you write books, you do things, and even when you're not working, you're working.
Yeah.
Even when you're not trying to reach out, you've already reached out, and it's still going. And so, just wondering too, like, with that added, like, does that add any pressure in you creating your next work, or does that add motivation to create more? What kind of?
Oh, that's such a good question. I feel like it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It's motivating to like want to write a book that's, I don't know, that'll like, inspire kids to do something, but it's also pressure because sometimes you want to write like a silly book, something a little bit more silly or funny.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a good mix of both.
Yeah.
But but I think it's good motivation. I think I want to write books that like kids can see themselves in and be inspired to go and do something,
Something. Yeah,
So,
no, this is amazing.
yeah.
I'm just so glad too. Like, good to see you here. And how's been the school year going on?
It's been good. It's been fun. Like the kids my class is so sweet, and they love everything. So it's so much fun. And I kind of give them all one of these books for their Christmas gift. So they're gonna or a holiday gift. So
no, that's really cool. And just wondering too, like, as you're now, as you get into work with, say, a publisher, kind of like us. I guess we call it traditional, right? But as you're getting to work with a publisher, how do you think that will change your voice? Or do you think that will change your voice, like who Haley Dieppe is when you present yourself to books?
I hope it doesn't change me too much,
And if there was anything that you did not want to change, like how would that look like?
About the book?
About
Or
yourself
about
and
myself?
interacting with a publisher versus yourself.
I hope that I can like continue to be me, you know, like I hope I'm like like I come off as like an open person at least, you know, and friendly and I'm approachable and not like intimidating or anything like that, you know. But I've been lucky with this publisher. They've given me like a lot of autonomy as well, and I get to be really involved in the process of like finding the illustrator and working closely with the illustrator as well with this book. So it's been kind of nice because I know that's not always the case with the traditional publisher, right?
No, I'm. And do you want to share who the publishers were, or like what what the book is about?
Yeah, it's called Breaking Barriers, and it's about Wataru Misaka, and he was the first person of color in the NBA, and he's a Japanese American. And it was during the time of World War II when many Japanese Americans were incarcerated. So I didn't know this, and so when I found out, I was like, oh, I really want to learn more about him and tell his story, because I feel like some people don't know about him and know about like his contributions, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, like, looking at, no, like looking at it, like, we hear these things, or it's so easy to look back, to look at their achievements or everything that has been done and think, oh, well, they did it, maybe I can do it too. But you forget that they actually opened those doors. There was a process, there was a hardship, there was all these things that they had to go through.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what prompted you though? Because there are many historical figures, many other aspects that you could have gone and taken, but what made you pick
him?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know this, but when I was really young, I wanted to be an NBA player, specifically an NBA player.
Wow, yeah.
So I really like basketball.
Yes.
Obviously, the NBA part didn't pan out for me. A little short girl. So, but
you're changing lives
in different ways. But so then I was just, I don't know. I was just like working on my graduate paper, school paper at the time, and I was just wondering, like, oh, who was the first person of color in the NBA, and it turned out to be him, and there was a documentary about him, so I like went down a rabbit hole and just learned as much as I could about him, and it was just interesting because of just, I think his story like really resonated with me. I think like being like an Asian American, I think sometimes like he really brushed off a lot of like the racism that he faced, or you know, he like kind of just accepted it, you know, and I feel like that is the case with a lot of, I think, Asian American communities, right? Like even me, like I think I used to like brush off a lot of it. It seemed more like minor aggressions, right? So I feel like when I was reading this about him, I'm like, oh, like this, I think, you know, what happened to him like will resonate with a lot of people, and how he overcome it, how he had to, you know, he did walk away from basketball. He only played 3 games and then was cut from the team, but you know, it's just it's also showing that like sometimes you endure these hardships and you can get to a place and then it doesn't work out, and sometimes you walk away and find a new path, and that's okay to walk away as well. So I thought that was like an empowering story as well.
It is, absolutely. And you know, like I was facing a situation recently where something happened and I felt guilty for bringing out that, and I was like, that is where the problem is, because I feel like society has pushed so many ways where it's like the burden is on the oppressed. So the burden is on, you know, all of the like, oh no, you have to make the others feel comfortable, and that's not how it should be. Like, we should all be working to make sure that everyone has
like a voice and a space.
Safe space.
Safe space. That's so important.
I'm so excited for it. I was so happy for you.
Thank you. Like, you can do the cover reveal, right? Because I can do the cover reveal or something.
Please,
so
whatever way, just let me know. This is so good. I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, I was so excited. I think I was like, I made sure. I think I commented on that.
Yeah, you did. I was like, oh,
so happy. No, I was really happy. Like, just like, oh my god. Like, it was one of those where, like, in that moment, I wish I could call that. I was like, no, right.
Oh, thank you so much.
Good to see you here.
It's good seeing you too.
Out.
Thank you for
and
having
hopefully I'll catch you guys before you're all packed up and gone. Once we're done.
I'm gonna try to do what I can to help clean up and But thank you so much.
Thank you. Good to see you. Appreciate you. And good to see you here. This book, please do check out Haley Dieppe. If you give a girl a bike, one of my favorites. And then you've talked about Braden Hollett a few times, illustrator.
He's incredible. He has 2 middle grade books coming out soon. So
Please
he's
connect.
working on-
Please connect.
Yeah,
Let us
yeah.
know.
I'll let you know when it comes out. Maybe.
Yes,
Yeah.
connect. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Congratulations on your
Thank
book,
you.
and please
See ya.
keep shining. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'll see you. Yes. All right. Yes.
Nice to meet you.
How are you doing?
Angela, how you doing, brother?
Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No, thank you. Welcome to Story Time. And,
Nice.
Yeah. And the Social Justice
Yeah.
Book Holiday Fair. I said it without reading it. I've been struggling with the name.
Oh, yeah, that's all good, brother. I know it
Please
is.
tell us more about your book.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, my name is Angelo, and this is my book called Screen Time. And it's all about a boy getting his what he wants most for his birthday, which is his first cell phone, and it just kind of brings it chronicles his journey of getting his cell phone and like kind of like building better relationships with technology, specifically social media, and just like what like having too much cell phone addiction, and also like what it does to our brains, the posting, the comments, and all that. So they kind of like social dilemma, but for kids. And so, I used to work for the cell phone industry for over 10 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I walked away from it, disconnected my cell phone for an entire year, became a certified yoga instructor, started teaching in prisons and jails. Yeah. And then now I work for a mindfulness organization called the Mindful Life Project, and we bring mindfulness and movement to youth all across California and beyond. And this book is actually part of its curriculum now. Oh, wow. And so this book reaches about 20,000 kids on a weekly basis.
Yeah. And I haven't had a chance to go around yet to get some books. So please, before you go, I want to get a copy as well.
Oh, I really appreciate
and then
that. Thank you.
Connect more with so we can have more conversation. Storytime is live every week.
Yeah.
And then let's continue this conversation and have this. But also, like, where can people find you? How do they?
Yeah, no, thank you so much. Yeah, so again, you can find me out. This book is on Amazon if you just search Screen Time.
Yeah.
It's also on Ingram Spark. You can just go to my website, churchandscreentime.com.
Okay, absolutely. And we'll make sure to, like, all of this information that people are sharing, we'll make sure that we put it out and share with you. We'll follow you on Instagram as well and find it.
Children's Screen Time.
So that we can make sure that we know what's going on with screen time, children's screen time. But also, I'm just wondering too, like, how do people find you? Do you do author visits? How do people find you for that? And how can they get signed copies?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, all through my website, again, childrenscreentime.com.
Yeah.
But I actually have a partnership with the Oakland Public Libraries.
Yes.
To be able to start doing some book events there as well. So stay tuned for that on our website. You'll be able to find details around that.
No, absolutely. And then too, like, I know that especially with people of color, when we think yoga, you mentioned here, Screen Time, you mentioned the project that you're working on. When we think generally with people of color, we think, when you see yoga, like somebody mentioned earlier too, you have a certain image of people in there. So, like, how do you bring in, especially our kids of color, to embrace this important centering self-care kind of approach to life?
Yeah, I think representation is one of the most important things, and so, like, kids resonate with folk that look like them, and that's why the protagonist is an Afro-Latino boy. They're more mythical characters in our books, and actually like have children or protagonists featured that are children of color. And so really there's having them reflected in the books that they're seeing and the content is a step towards that, to be able to have access for all, because these skills are not, they shouldn't be segmented or isolated to a certain population or demographic. These are skills that we should have access to, and that's the goal of this project in this book, is to kind of bring that awareness around.
I appreciate you, Angelo. Thank you for joining us. Please remember to find Screen Time. Is it what's the full, if they want to follow you on Instagram?
Yeah, it's Children's Screen Time.
Children's Screen Time. Please follow them and see what it's all about, and just get to learn. And also, as you heard, if you go to the website, you're able to get signed copies. You're able to bring them into your conversations, into your spaces, and of course, like we're saying, representation matters. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
This.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you again. Talk to us.
Thank you very much.
Please do not leave me in before I get the copy. I'll come on out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
appreciate it.
Thank
you.
Yeah, you are. Oh my goodness, this has been and this has been a wonderful presentation coming to us from the Teance here out in Berkeley, and we do have our organizers coming to help us wrap up and finish. And we do have Laura Atkins, who you met already with Stan Yogi. We have Rob, we have Alejandra, and we do have Jenny Macbeth as well. coming in to join us. Please come on through. We'll be able to squeeze things.
You need to scoop this back.
Yes.
Tommy.
Yay. Yay. There we go. This is the amazing organizing team. Let's start with you, Rob.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning into the stream, and we are really excited that you are either here in person or watching on the stream. And we love books.
Oh, it's so great. Thank you for tuning in. We hope that you guys will check out all the amazing books and these author illustrators. There's such work, such conviction and love and passion, and it's such a gift to be able to share them with others.
And yay, the weather gods kept us mostly dry. Thank you, weather gods, and this amazing team. We managed to do it. I think there were moments where we're like, so I'm sorry, I can't ask for a better team than all of you. That's really sweet. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope that you can join us next year. If you're out of town, join us online, and if you're in town, join us in person. It's a wonderful community event, and the energy is always so good, and it's so good to see people and just connect. Thank you so much for hosting us.
Thank you
so much.
It's so great. No, I'm like, it's honestly like it's just been so much fun and so much learning too. A lot learned for next time, right? But you should see all of these people working in the background to bring you what is the Social Justice Children's Book Holiday Fair. And I said it with my
I know, it's such a mouthful.
I know. We were saying we should do a summer one, and we could do it here because it'll be sunny, but we're gonna need a different name.
Summer fair.
Yeah. So have you, just to ask too before as we are closing out, what was the vision starting this? This is year 6. What was the vision starting this? How is that vision moving? How are you feeling about it?
Someone asked me that earlier, and actually we were so like a few of us would get together and just meet up, like because we were all bookmakers and for fun. And then over one of the conversations, I think it was Rob and Laura and Maya and Matthew and myself and Eno Sandra Nagara, and Eno was like, we should do a book fair. And it was 2017. Trump had just been inaugurated, and we were like, and people's spirit was pretty low, and we as bookmakers were all involved with educators and caregivers, and people were saying that they really wanted to make sure that this didn't happen again. And children's books are such a great way of building that legacy for our kids and for young people, and instilling good values early. And we just kind of came together and made it happen. And it was so miraculous, kind of, because it's very informal and we're just a few friends getting together and making something happen. So it's just been amazing 6 years later. Yeah, I don't know if anyone would have anything to add.
I would just say it's really awesome to be able to meet so many families and kids and teachers and librarians and authors, and it really is a community that I'm happy to be a part of and proud to connect with and continue to help it grow, because we've all benefited from it individually, and I think we all benefit from it collectively to continue nourishing it.
And I think these are the kinds of books people need to know about, and they don't always get the same platform as books that come out from the big publishers, but they're grassroots community-based publishing. They're the stories that people make within and for each other. And so I think, this model could be seeded out and all over the country. So reach out.
No, I just feel so honored to be a part of it, and I think part of the fun too is I learn so much about book creators out there, and it's an internal community, but then we invite more people in, so it's a great combination. Yeah.
Thank you, and I think that's just the perfect way to wrap up with you amazing people. I've been at least been able to glean into all your work behind the scenes, and I've appreciated it. And thank you for having me as part of this, and it's just so wonderful talking the families, listening to people, the topics that have been here addressed here. I was just talking to Angelo, I think just now, and just listening to the projects that he's working on in the books. It's just like, it's exactly what we need. Continuing to educate, and especially I think as adults we need that education even more to having those conversations. How do we, books that are helping us begin to dig and open up those conversations. Para todos, of course.
Yes.
I think I had not found a way of talking about immigration in such a powerful yet friendly way. I think one of the things you had mentioned was how do we, I think you said, making it accessible is not watering it down or something like that. Like, I can't remember the exact words. I think it was one of the
There's a
things
difference between dumbing it down and breaking it down.
There we go.
That's a good one.
I love that one. It's
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. I think from just all that you're doing in projects like this, that's what they're about. Like, really bringing the issues and talking about them as they should be talked. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
So until next year, or I guess the summer maybe.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you everybody for joining in. Yeah, so this has been the Social Justice Children's Book Holiday Fair. Bye bye. Oh my goodness.